A very good morning, dear students of grade 9. Today we shall begin with the line by line explanation of the poem Rain on the Roof by Coate Skinney. Dear children, I have already given you the detailed introduction to the poem as well as the poet. So I am directly moving on to the first stanza. Now that you know the central idea or the theme of the poem, children, it will become easier for you to relate to what I have already explained and what I will be explaining in the poem. So let's begin with the first stanza. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Children, I hope you all have a pencil in your hand, because as and when I will be giving you the meanings of the new words and phrases, I expect you all to write it down. Now be attentive, all of you. The poet says, now the poet is, it is his feelings, he's thinking, okay, and what is he thinking? When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. The poet says that humid showers, children, humid means something that is wet, full of water, and shadows mean something that is dark in appearance, okay, shadow. So what is humid or carries water as well as dark in appearance? The water laden clouds, the black clouds. So here humid shadows refer to the dark clouds, the black clouds which are laden with water and they are ready to shed it. So what are they doing? They are hovering over all the starry spheres, hanging. They are hanging about in the sky over all the starry spheres. Starry spheres over here refer to, children, the night sky which is abounding in stars. Okay, so the night sky which is abounding in stars, and there these dark clouds are hanging ready to shed their water. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Children, pay attention now. Melancholy darkness. Children, the poetic device used over here, it is a metaphor as well as a personification here. Now, how is it a metaphor and how is it a personification? I will be explaining it to you. And the melancholy darkness. Children, melancholy means sad, gloomy, okay, depressing, sadness, it refers to sadness. And the melancholy darkness, so the darkness over here has been referred to gloom, it is the sadness. Of course, dark, grey, all these are associated with something that is very gloomy, something that is very depressing, sad. Okay, so it symbolizes sadness, darkness. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. And when it starts raining, how does it begin, children? With a drizzle. So when it starts raining, it appears as if the darkness has become very sad. It has become very gloomy, as if the night is crying. It's shedding its tears. So how is it a personification, children? The melancholy darkness, it is a metaphor over here. Night, the darkness of the night has been referred to gloom, being gloomy or sad. Okay, so it's a metaphor and personification because a person becomes sad, children. Okay, and over here the darkness has been referred to as a person who has become sad, and out of sadness he or she is shedding the tears. Got it? So it's a personification when human qualities are attributed or given to non-human or inanimate objects or things. So over here the darkness has been referred to a person who is melancholic or sad and shedding tears. gently weeps. So when it is a slight drizzle, because the rainfall, it begins with a drizzle, so that has been referred to as if the night sky, the darkness is gently weeping. It's shedding its tears out of gloom, out of sadness. That time the poet says, "What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead." The poet says that time, it's a bliss. It refers to the happiness of the poet, children. Please underline what a bliss to press. Bliss means refers to the happiness of the poet. He says that I am happy pressing the pillow. I am lying down on the bed and my head is on the pillow. So my head is pressing the pillow, and oh, it gives me what joy, what happiness that I cannot express, of a cottage chamber bed, and I am there inside my room. In my cottage, chamber over here is the room, cottage means his house over here, and the poet is there on the bed with his head on the pillow inside his home, inside his room, on his bed, and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Children, if you remember, in the introduction I had told you that if you listen to the rain, the pitter-patter raindrops, children, they will not only mean the sound of the falling drops, but it is actually a melody, children. It's a music. I had even shared that video wherein a music was composed on the falling drops. So this is the magical power of the gifts of Mother Nature. They have a healing power. They give us pleasure. They soothe us and make us happy. So the poet is also feeling very happy, lying on his bed inside his room and listening to the falling drops. And what sound are they making? Pitter patter of the soft rain overhead. Of course, it's the rain is falling on the roof. So pitter patter raindrops falling on the roof makes the poet happy. Okay, so children, patter over here, it's again a poetic device. It's the sound words used in the poem. So it is onomatopoeia. I will be giving you a detailed explanation of the poetic devices also contained in the poem. So sound word onomatopoeia. So pitter patter raindrops. I hope the first stanza is clear, children. Let's move on to the second stanza now. Let me just scroll it down a little for you. Every tinkle on the shingles. Just hold on, children. Just hold on. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. Weave their airheads, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. See the rhythm? See, I can, I can sing a song. I can recite the poem, recitation, because of the rhythm. We will also come to the rhyming scheme of the poem. Let's understand what the poet says in the second stanza. Every tinkle on the shingles. Children, tinkle over here is again a sound word. So when the raindrops are falling on the tiles of the roof, shingles are the tiles on the roof, the wooden tiles. So every drop that falls on the tiles of the roof, it makes an echo in the heart. Echo means the sound can be heard and reheard in the heart. Such is the impact of these falling drops, of the melody of and this is an example of the gift of Mother Nature, that in those melancholy darkness, in those sad nights, rain is a source of happiness. The falling drops, which is producing the melody, the music, is a source of happiness. So that melody, it echoes in the heart of the poet again and again. Echo means what? The sound that gets repeated can be heard again and again. So that sound, it is echoing in the heart of the poet again and again. The melody is there, can be heard again and again. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. And the poet has varied sweet dreams. Now when he hears the sound of those falling drops on the tiles of the roof, what does it result to? It results in the formation of 1,000 varied. Varied means a variety of sweet dreams. Fancies means over here sweet dreams. Varied means variety of. Please write it down. And it leads to the formation of a variety of sweet dreams. Into busy being start. Into busy being start means one leads on to the other. So there are a number of hence I have used the word varied. Into busy being start. Thousands means a variety of varied sweet dreams. Okay, they start forming. And 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. And this results to 1,000 old memories that return to the poet. They weave themselves. They come one after the other as if they are threads. Okay, as if a web is being created, as if using threads. So how can you write? When people are fast asleep, the memories of the past come back into their mind in the form of dreams. And those dreams form like a web, and you get caught in that web, in those memories of the past. You get lost. Okay? As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. And when does this happen? When the poet is listening to the pitter-patter raindrops falling on the roof. Any doubt? Please listen to this recording again. Just go back, play this recording again and listen to the explanation of the second stanza. I'm just again repeating, children. Woof means like threads. So when people are fast asleep, what happens? The memories, the good old memories of the past, it comes back into their mind in the form of dreams. Of course, they will physically not be able to relive those moments because those are moments of the past. But they can always go back to those times in their dreams. And this is exactly what is happening to the poet. Okay? Those good old memories return to the poet in the form of a web which is prepared of threads. And here threads are the dream threads. And he's caught in those dreams, those beautiful memories of the past. And why does it happen? Because of the pitter-patter raindrops which were falling on the roof. That sound reminds him of the past, pushes him into a dream. Okay, now I think this is clear to you. Let's move on to the last stanza, children. Very important stanza. Now, in memory comes my mother, and she used to, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers, ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Now in memory comes my mother. Children, now in the present time, the poet says that I am reminded of my mother. Okay, the poet says that I am reminded of the mother. It is again, the poet is composing the poem when it is raining outside maybe. So looking at the rain outside the room through his window while sitting on his desk to pen down his thoughts, the poet says that now in my memory comes my mother. My mother has again come back to me in my memories. So what does it tell us? That the poet's mother had passed away. All that he had were the good old memories associated with his mother. as she used in years agone. Now he's saying that, years agone means the years that have passed by. She used to sit by the side of our bed and watch the darling dreamers. To regard means here to show her affection, to just stroke lovingly on their head. So she used to sit by the bedside and she used to lovingly pat us affectionately. The darling dreamers over here refers to the poet and his siblings' children. So the darling dreamers over here refers to the poet and his siblings. When they were children and they were loved by their mother, and so they have been referred to as darlings. Okay, so when they were children, they were loved by their mother, and so were darlings. So he's reminded of his mother when she used to come and sit by their bedside and affectionately pet them, stroke them. Them over here? The darling dreamers, the poet and his sibling. She left them till the dawn. What does it mean? The moment it was dawn, early morning, she would leave. Why? Because the mother used to come only in dreams, and the dreams used to last only till early morning. And when the children used to wake up, the memories of the mother were all gone. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain. The poet says that even today I can feel her look on me as if she's lovingly looking at us from the heavens above. As I listen, list over here is listen, children, to this refrain. Refrain means, children, repetition. This for pitter patter raindrop, it is not just once, but it's continuously falling. Okay, so refrain means the music that is continuously flowing through the pitter patter raindrops. So the poet says that I am reminded of those memories of my mother, which used to last only till early morning. And I feel as if she is even today watching over us through the heavens, from the heavens above. As I listen to this music of the falling drops, which is playing upon the shingles by the patter of the rain, and this music is being played by the falling drops on the shingles of the roof. So very touching stanza, children, wherein the poet is even expressing, sharing his pain, his loss. And how does he experience his mother? Only in the memories. Death is a permanent separation, children. And when somebody dies, it creates a vacuum in your life which cannot be filled. All that is left of your dear one is the memories, the good old memories. And you take solace, you take refuge in them. So was the poet, and hence he is feeling happy because of the rain. Okay, children, I am done with the complete explanation of the poem. A very beautiful poem. Please listen to this recording again. In the next class, I will be taking up a detailed explanation of the poetic devices and some important questions, children. I will be sharing a few questions based on the RTCs. You are expected to do them, and please honestly do them. I want to check your answers, children. Don't copy and produce the work. It is of no use. Listen to the recording again and then send your work timely. Thank you, class. Thank you.